After years of being blind, I suddenly got my sight back. I rushed home excitedly. But as I was about to tell my son the good news, I was horrified to see that the son I'd been living with was actually an ugly old dwarf. Then he spoke in my son's exact voice. "Happy birthday, Dad! Come see the present I made you." The dwarf pulled me over to the table. A severed leg, boiled until tender, sat in the center. "Dad, this is the cake I made for you. Go ahead, take a bite." My heart started pounding. When I didn't react, the dwarf tilted his head and glared at me. "Dad, what's wrong? Don't you like it?" He kept studying my expression, while quietly reaching for the knife beside him. It felt like the slightest wrong move would make him slit my throat. Stay calm. I had to stay calm. I couldn't let him know I could see. I pretended to be overwhelmed, then let my tears fall onto the table. "No, I'm just so happy. I can't believe you remembered my birthday. Just last month you said I was the person you hated most." The dwarf lowered his guard and wiped my tears with a tissue. "Don't cry, Dad. I'm glad you liked the present." He moved the severed leg and stuck candles into it. Then he started singing Happy Birthday. The leg was barely 1.5 feet long. It couldn't belong to an adult. My heart sank, and a terrible thought crossed my mind. Then the questions started flooding in. When did he start impersonating my son? And why did he kill him? No wonder my son had suddenly grown so affectionate. He'd even slept beside me every night. "Dad, make a wish and blow out the candles." I obediently made a wish, then bent down to blow. Suddenly, a creepy laugh came from his throat. "Dad, can you see again? Can you answer me?" I moved the cake. "So how did you know where to blow?" "You silly kid. I wish I could see again. I may be blind, but I can still feel the candle's heat." "Oh, that makes sense. Wait here for a minute. I'll get your food from the fridge." The dwarf turned toward the refrigerator. I took a deep breath. Some of my fear finally faded. Once I calmed down, my hand reached for the chair beside me. I was much bigger than the dwarf. If we fought head-on, I might actually have the advantage. But that idea died when I saw the gun on his waist. The dwarf brought the food to the table. He clearly loved playing this twisted family game, so I played along and rubbed my temples. "Sweetheart, Dad's feeling a little dizzy. I want to lie down for a while." "Of course you can." The dwarf opened my bedroom door. The white floor was covered in blood. Severed fingers were scattered across it. The closet door stood wide open, with a boy's body curled up inside. "Dad, do you smell something?" "Sweetheart, my allergies have been acting up. I can't smell much. Is something wrong?" "No, I just put in a new air freshener. Get some rest if you don't feel well." "I'll leave you alone." After the dwarf left, the body in the closet suddenly moved. Then it began crawling toward me. "Dad, save me." He was my real son. Maybe I really was a terrible father. When I saw my son's mangled body, all I felt was overwhelming fear. Fighting through the pain, my son told me what had happened. The dwarf had broken in 3 days earlier. He tied my son up and stuffed him inside a suitcase. Then he copied his voice and lived beside me. Today, he cut off my son's leg and said it would be my birthday present. "Dad, please save me. I'm so scared, afraid he'd start crying again." I quickly promised to find a way to save him. But my son said he already had a plan. "Dad, all you have to do is distract the dwarf. I'll crawl outside and find someone to call the police. Then we'll both be saved." "No, he has a gun. He'll kill me." "Dad, please. I'm your son." Bang, bang, bang. Someone knocked again. My son's lips started trembling, and his eyes filled with fear. "Dad, save me." "Dad, save me. He's going to kill me." "Please." I steadied myself and opened the door. A gleaming knife was pointed straight at my eye. "Dad, remember to shower before bed." My palms were drenched in sweat. If I moved forward, he could stab my eye. But if I didn't, he'd kill me. I had no choice. I forced myself to take 2 steps forward. "Thank you, sweetheart. That's so thoughtful. I'll go shower right now." Just before the blade touched my eye, the dwarf pulled it back. "Dad, why don't I shower with you?" His eyes burned with excitement, and he kept swallowing. I smiled. "What are you talking about? You're not a little kid anymore. You need to be independent." After he left, I quickly tore off some toilet paper. I bit my finger until it bled, and wrote SOS and my building number. Then I opened the window and threw it outside. I prayed someone would find it and call the police. After throwing 2 notes, I realized the plan would never work. Our rundown neighborhood was scheduled for demolition. Very few people still lived there, and it was already past 11 at night. What was I supposed to do? Was there another way out? I was desperate. Then I spotted a pile of dirty clothes. Could I tie them together and climb down? I looked out the window. I lived on the 5th floor, about 10 feet per story. Even if I used every piece of clothing, it still wouldn't be long enough. Suddenly, The window across from mine lit up. Hope instantly surged through me. The buildings here were packed tightly together, with barely any space between them. My neighbor, Mr. Zhang, had once passed his phone across, so my son could connect it to our Wi-Fi. If Mr. Zhang opened his window and pulled me across, I could finally escape. I turned on the faucet and shower, then grabbed a bottle of conditioner. I climbed onto the window and straddled the ledge. Then I gently tapped his window with the bottle. The running water and humming gas pipes covered the sound of my tapping. Mr. Zhang opened his window. I silently mouthed, "Help me." He immediately understood and pulled me across. He helped me onto his living room couch. I collapsed onto it, still shaking and gasping for air. Then I told him everything that had happened. After hearing my story, Mr. Zhang immediately became alert. He hurried over to the window, pushed it back and forth, then yanked hard on the door. After making sure everything was locked, he frantically pulled out his phone. The dispatcher told us to stay safe. The police were coming as fast as possible. After hanging up, I thanked Mr. Zhang over and over. "Don't worry about it. We're neighbors. But when did your eyesight come back?" "Just today." Thank God. If it had taken a few more days, who knows how long you'd have lived with that psycho. I nodded. Mr. Zhang handed me a glass of water and tried to comfort me. "Don't worry too much. The police will be here soon." The next second, the doorbell rang. I saw Mr. Zhang's lips visibly tremble. "Delivery. Your food delivery is here." Mr. Zhang and I looked at each other. Neither of us dared to speak. We feared the delivery guy was the dwarf in disguise. After all, he could perfectly copy my son's voice. He might be able to copy anyone. Bang, bang, bang! The delivery guy knocked again. When no one answered, he finally stopped. Then Mr. Zhang's phone buzzed. It was a message from the delivery driver. "Hi!" No one answered, so I left your order outside. "Please pick it up soon." I breathed a sigh of relief. Maybe it really was the delivery driver. "Mr. Zhang, it's pretty late." "What did you order?" "Nothing important. My dog died. It was pretty big. I planned to bury it tomorrow. But I was worried it would start smelling overnight. So I bought activated charcoal and air freshener to cover up the smell." "You had a dog?" "Living alone gets lonely." "Was it a large breed?" "You could say that." "It was about 5'3" and weighed nearly 200 pounds. "Whoa, that big? Aren't dogs that size banned in the city?" "Exactly. That's why I poisoned it. I'm leaving next month, and taking it with me would have been inconvenient. But I'm not some kind of animal abuser. I just couldn't take this dog with me. Besides, it was vicious. It bit people all the time, and attacked smaller dogs in the neighborhood. Nothing I did could train it." He kept rambling, without taking his eyes off my face. As if desperate to convince me, he rolled up his sleeve. A two-headed snake was wrapped tightly around his arm. Its black scales gleamed in the light, and both heads flicked their tongues at me. I stumbled backward in terror. Mr. Zhang pulled his arm away. "I really love animals. Please don't hate me. Animals love me too. Even my unfriendly brown bear only listens to me." I suddenly froze. A realization flashed through my mind, and my scalp went numb. A dwarf, a two-headed snake, a huge dog, and a brown bear. The clues suddenly connected in my head. I remembered the circus I'd visited with my son last week. It had that exact lineup. The real Mr. Zhang might have been the dog he poisoned. There might be more than one killer hiding in our neighborhood.